Greetings, Goddess Body, Mind, Spirit community. This is your Goddess Guru, Omilade, here to share a word of inspiration with you on your path to self-realization and self-mastery. I hope that wherever you are having a wonderful day. In my last video, I talked about the power of gratitude and how gratitude can shift a nasty, stinky, bad, grumpy mood in a heartbeat. So if you're not feeling too good, just right now, stop and think about 5 things you are super duper grateful for, okay? So this morning, I'm wanting to talk about something that's been coming to me. I'm not saying that I have my mind fully wrapped around it, but I do want to put this out just because I feel like it will help you understand how to move into a deeper relationship with your guides, with your intuition, with the higher wisdom of the universe. And so I'll start with the story. Probably, I don't know how many years ago. Anyway, at some point on my spiritual journey, I think, well, at the beginning, after my mother passed, which was in 1997, I had started to learn more about other ways that people engage spirituality. And one of the things that I learned about is honoring the ancestors. Being raised Christian, to honor the ancestors was something that, and especially if it's looked at as ancestral worship, it would be looked at as taboo. I was raised largely in the Catholic Church, and so in the Catholic Church it's actually not so weird because we used to light these candles. In the Catholic Church, there was this place where there were these candles, and you could light the candles to help any ancestors who potentially stuck. So I would always light a candle for my grandfather. So it wasn't super foreign to honor the ancestors, but in the way that I was learning from this particular author, Iyanla Vanzant, it was really sort of taboo. But after my mother died, I was so miserable. I needed something to help me relieve the pain. And so I started pouring libations. I set up an ancestral altar, and I began to notice that when I poured libations and I sat at my altar, I felt better. And so honoring my ancestors was something that became a regular spiritual practice for me. I did it on a daily basis. I did not fully understand it, but I did it because it made me feel better. And then at some point, once I opened myself up to just releasing any labels on me, any spiritual labels on me, and just seeking truth, one day I was pouring libations in my home, and I felt as I was pouring the libations, I felt this huge big energy just come all over me and around me, and my lips began to tingle, and I just felt a presence in a very big way open up in my room. And in my spiritual ear, I heard, "We are the ancestors, we are here." And I was like, okay. What I believe is that the ancestors were always there. But because for so long I poured those libations, they finally made themselves apparent to me in a way that I had no doubt those ancestors are there. One of the keys to self-mastery is called devotion. If you want to master your life, you must be devoted. And that's an issue that we have in this culture, lack of devotion. We start and we stop everything. I am so guilty of that. But what I find is that the more devoted I am to a goal, the more devoted I am to a practice, the more devoted I am to just ways of being, that devotion opens up more to me as time goes on. And so that's what that taught me, that the more I stuck with that practice, And that we talked about spiritual practices on the teleconference, the Oracle Speaks teleconference, and I'll be sure to post that link in the description of this video. That the more you can come on in. I'm making a video outside and somebody wants to park. The more we've talked about spiritual practices in the Oracle Speaks video, and so the more we open ourselves up to our spiritual practices, the more will be open to us. And what's bringing me to this point is that, I've been working my spiritual practices in a way that is about releasing myself from the bondage of whatever has me in bondage, which is right here, me. And just wanting to take myself to a higher level of trust in the universe, in my guides. I'm tired of me depending on my ego. And so just taking it to the next level. And what I'm finding out is that the more I open myself up to seeking peace, that is what I've been working on, being peaceful. The more I open myself up to being open, and a word that came to me the other day that I've talked about before, being vulnerable, the more I am finding that I can hear much better what it is I need to do, and I can see the solutions. I hear from my guides, and it's just something that is difficult to fully explain. I know that you understand my words, and I'm asking you to be a spiritual scientist and test it for yourself. Now, before those ancestors appeared to me, I had been pouring those libations at least 10 years. I have been pouring those libations for a very long time. And sometimes it takes a while, because there's a scripture from the Bible that I like to use for myself. Study to show thyself approved. Why should your spiritual power be opened up to you when you're not ready for it? We want all this power. We want all these things going in our way. We want all of this stuff. But we aren't fully all the time ready for it. What gets us ready for the next level is spiritual practices. And the more we work the spiritual practice, the more devotion that we have to our spiritual practice, the more we open ourselves up to, first of all, what we want. But I'm finding I'm getting more. I didn't even know that this was coming. This openness, moving to a place, and I liken it to little children. They don't worry about too much of anything. Even when life is tough, kids have an ability to still trust life, and have it within. And if we can just think back and remember, and I know some of us perhaps were born into a situation where we never had that opportunity, but I would venture to say the majority of us watching this have had a moment where we were so pure, so open, so vulnerable, that we just trusted life. We trusted everything was okay. Our mind was not over there. It was not back there, just in the moment. This is the place where we can find ourselves open to the greater power within, open to happiness, peace, love, joy, harmony, open to higher levels of wisdom. My thing is this: I don't want to know wisdom just for the sake of knowing wisdom. What's that going to do for anybody? Huh? Nothing. We should want to be open to the higher levels of wisdom, because it's going to take us someplace where we can do something good, where we will discover something new, where about ourselves, free us up, move more on the straight and narrow to self-realization. So you have to apply your spiritual practices so that you can open yourself up to more. The one thing I do want to focus on, as I find it is a huge problem for me, is getting unplugged. Getting unplugged. It's difficult for me because I'm a networker, okay? I am a people person. I like to be in the know. Sometimes just because it's fun to be in the know, not really because I need to be in the know. And I think to a certain degree, it's habit. You know, we are in a culture that is all about being plugged in. You know, it's what we do. We constantly just tapped in and tuned in to something or somebody. And so what I'm finding more and more is just how much, see, we're energy beings, just how much, I don't know what this little bug is. I know that was such a rabbit ADHD moment, and people who know me are going to be like, oh, there she go. But it's something that is just really cracking. See, something up there. Scratching. Trying to drive me crazy. But anyway, we are vibrational beings. And so the energy of these messages, you know, these subliminal messages, the powers that be, they know how finicky and how programmable we human species are. And they are really doing a job on us. And guess what? We are complicit. We are complicit in it. And so as I unplug more, I'm not saying I'm totally unplugged, but as I unplug more, what I'm finding out is that those powers are loosening their hold on me. And the energies, my Orisha, my guides, the just all the Orisha, all of the natural energy of the universe, the great positive divine spiritual I care about you Tyra Omilade energy, that is the energy that is now grabbing a hold of me. And so unplug from the world, open yourself up more to nature, sit down, be quiet, read spiritual works, journal, get out of you all the programming. Basically, you want to take a magnet like to a computer and just get it all out. And then that opens you up to having that greater experience that so many of us are looking for. The greatest experience that you can have is actually with you. Okay? Oh, there's the camera. With you. So I just wanted to share this video because sometimes when things are coming to me and I'm working to grasp them, it's good for me to share as I'm getting them along the way. And hopefully it'll gel and I can really turn this into something where I can explain it and it's a little more scientific. But I hope that this has assisted you. I am wishing you a great day. If you are in the Northern Hemisphere, happy fall. If you are in the Southern Hemisphere, I wish you a great spring. And I wish you all peace, love, happiness, joy, and freedom. Enjoy your day. Peace.